Hey guys, welcome back and thanks for tuning in. I don't show you holsters very often on this channel, at least not anymore, mainly because there's not a whole lot of them that impress me. It's kind of a utilitarian thing. It's not until I see something that's out of the ordinary and really innovative that I'm impressed and I want to bring it and show it to all of you guys, roll in front of the camera. And that's the case today. Stealth Gear USA sent me a couple of their SG Revolution holsters, and these things are kind of groundbreaking, very different and very cool, and we'll cover all of that in a moment. But that is the key reason why I'm making this video today and why I'm showing these off. I've had these for a few months now. You know, in my best interest, I should have released a video right when I had the opportunity to, and they gave me the green light to put this out, because it kind of had kept a lid on the whole thing for a little while there. But I didn't do that because I wanted to give them an adequate amount of testing, as I generally do with everything I bring into my channel. You know, at the cost of generally not being first. But that's fine with me. Again, this is a great holster, and I took the time to test it, and we're going to talk all about it today. But as I said before, some other holsters have impressed me in the past. Of course, you guys remember the Joe Carden holster, which is still a fantastic leather holster. All leather, of course, except for the steel and the hardware in there, but just a fantastically built and crafted holster. And I've watched him and seen how he puts these things together. The guy loves what he does, and you can tell. And I still highly recommend them. But for a lot of you guys, the price is not such a big issue. It is a little bit more expensive than these, and we'll cover that in a moment. But it's the wait time, because he's still just a one-man show, and it takes a long time to get around to the orders. And so the long wait times are going to be very much prohibitive to a lot of you guys. And that's where these holsters come in. Before we get to any of the other details, let's cover the things that you're going to be really interested in, which is the wait time, which is you place your order, 72 hours later, it's shipping. 72 hours later, it's shipping, okay? So we're talking about, what, a week and a half before you get your holster? That's fantastic. Next, all synthetic materials, dunk it in water, whatever, it won't ruin it, it won't damage anything. Stainless steel, black oxide hardware on there, excuse me. So no problems with that, no corrosion, no issues like that. Also, you know, totally breathable as well, but also the price on it is fantastic. Might as well throw this good stuff out at the beginning of the video. The price on this, $59 for this one, $54 for that one. There's a third one that's probably just a tiny bit more than this one in price. About 60 bucks. About 60 bucks, and you're waiting, what, a week and a half for your holster? Fantastic. That's fantastic. How does it compare in comfort? And I've raved about this one. And I don't want to make this a side-by-side comparison, but I've raved about the comfort on that leather holster. The comfort is spectacular. It's very, very good. Do I put it on par with that? I don't know. They're different. They're different animals. But the Kydex with this backing on it, they're called ACX57 polymer, which is a proprietary material that SG came up with. It's very soft. It molds to your body very quickly. It requires no breaking in, and it's just a great material. So as far as the comfort factor with this, it's better than any other hybrid holster I've seen. I'll say that. Stealth Gear has been pumping out holsters for a good while now, and they make them, make fantastic ones. And in the recent video I did with my friends over at Citizen Armor, you saw that some of their armor plates that you can buy are actually backed with the vent core material that Stealth Gear USA produces, which is a great material. It's like super duper breathable. The difference between that material and this material, obviously, that is actually a fabric. This is a polymer. So there is no absorption whatsoever of sweat. There's no time when you're going to have to take this off and, wash it and let it soak or whatever with soap or anything like that. That's never going to have to happen. Okay, you might spray this out, hose it out or something like that. But as far as trying to use soap and water to get the grime out of it, nope, not a possibility with this, because it is not a fabric. There's nothing like that in this material right here. So that's fantastic. And those are basically the huge selling points on these holsters. They're very comfortable to wear. I've tested them thoroughly, taken my wife out on dates, gone to movies, done all kinds of stuff in these holsters. I took them on a camping trip, myself and Crockett 20. I took my boys. He took one of his sons. We went up, we had a great time in some mountains. Spent, the evening up there wearing the holster the entire time. Wore it all the next day. It was freezing cold overnight, but by the time we got out of the mountains and out into the desert to do a little shooting the next afternoon,
there you go.
Man, it warmed up fast. So I felt it both in cold weather that evening, and then in pretty cold and pretty warm weather the next morning, the next day. And I tell you, it's comfortable in all scenarios. So I see it being an all-weather, very comfortable concealed carry solution for your guns. And they've got a good number of concealed carry style pistols that you can buy this holster in right now. Again, shipping out in 72 hours. The Shield is one of those for sure. I won't list all the other ones, but most of the really popular single stack 9s and other concealed carry pistols are ready to go right now. So that's a great selling point as well. All right, I think I've covered everything that's kind of really critical. Let's get to some of the nitty-gritty and talk about some of the materials, why these are pretty good holsters, and all that kind of stuff. So let's start off by differentiating between these two holsters right here. This one is called the IWB Mini, or Inside Waistband Mini. The name suggests that it's small. It's actually smaller than the standard IWB, which comes out a little bit further on each side. So spreads the weight out a little further, wraps around your body a little further. You kind of have to be the judge and decide if that's what you want, or if you want something a little more compact that still distributes the weight very nicely, as the Mini does. In my opinion, the Mini's great. I probably would buy this over the standard for the most part. But if you're also into appendix carry, that's where this one comes in. This is the AIWB, or Appendix Inside Waistband. And it's also got these two clips on it, obviously. This flow-through design, I'm using knife terms here, but you can see that this is the case on both of them, where dust would basically blow out through all of there. It's really just completely resistant to any kind of dirt, dust, and grime accumulating, which is a fantastic thing. How does the fitment on it, by the way? Get the Shield out and show you what that's like. Listen. You hear that click? That little last click there? Here it comes, wait. Yeah, that's it. And that is exactly what you want. There's a little movement back and forth, but it's fine. That's kind of what you need to have in order to get all of the clearance that you need in order to draw that nicely and quickly, which you can. And same goes with this guy right here. I'll show you that. Okay, some slight movement that way. I don't think it's a big deal. But really good retention. And did you hear the click? Look at that. Oh, that's perfect. So they've got the balance exactly right between the flex in this material right here and the depth of that Kydex. It's absolutely perfect. And yet, you can still make adjustments if you need to. Look at these spacers right here. These spacers are made of, what do they call them again? Neoprene. That's right. They're neoprene spacers. So you can squish that down a little further, or you can pull that screw out and loosen it a little bit if that's what you feel like you need to do. And so you've got those options available to you. So if you like a tighter fit, you can make it a little bit tighter, like a looser fit, you can do that as well. Examining the Kydex on here, you can see that it's got this really cool sort of battle-worn finish to it, design on it. I like it. And it's also, you can tell here, cut out everywhere that it does not need to be. Every place you don't need Kydex, it's gone. They got rid of it. That's perfect. And that's the same deal on this one as well, pretty much. I mean, it's about as minimal as it gets in the first place. But that makes it so it's a much lighter weight holster than it might be otherwise. And what is the weight while we're thinking about it? Let's go ahead and bring the scale in and find out, since we've got it. So let's lay the Mini on here first. 3.9 ounces. Oh my gosh. See, they advertise 4 point something, but they must have been talking about the full size one. 3.1 ounces. Wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. I was thinking, you know, they mentioned 4 point something. I thought that was the lightest one, but that's actually the heaviest one. So I'm genuinely surprised right now. That's great. Under 4 ounces for either one of these. That's a fantastic weight. I guess, you know, while we're here, here's the Joe Carden holster. What's your holster weigh, dude? 4.8. Okay. So clearly a little bit more. And that's the situation with the weight on those two holsters. Let's cover a couple other really good features. Okay, check out this finish right here. What we've got is this ACX 57 polymer, like I said before, and they've textured this to this cool pebble finish which aids in the quicker draw of your handgun. Okay, so you've got a great retention there, but not a lot of drag on your gun, because again, that pebble texture means that it's more like a lot of little contact points rather than one big flat contact point, if that makes sense. Then on the back, they thought about this too. The back, they want that to be a completely different type of texture because that's in contact with your skin and or your underclothes. And so that's more of a sort of a felt suede. Yeah, more of a suede kind of a texture on there. Same goes on this guy right here, the appendix one. And of course you can see the cutouts on that. Laser cut diamond shapes, pretty much everywhere they can put them. They look great and they, again, breathe really well. So they've given you the advantage of completely synthetic materials that are not going to rot, and they're not going to retain any moisture whatsoever, and yet it feels like a leather. It feels kind of like a soft leather on here. And when you get your hands on this, I think you'll agree. It's kind of like a thick horsehide or like a thick cowhide or something like that. That's the kind of rigidity you feel, and that's the kind of softness you feel as well. So it's really, really nice. Check out these clips right here. You can see that little sign, made in the USA. And these are actually developed by Stealth Gear. They designed them, they produced them, injection molded. And these are made of acetal or acetal. I don't know how to say that word, but a type of a durable plastic. If you don't want those, I understand that you can also swap those out for a stainless steel spring clip instead. So that might be your preference. As you can tell, those clips actually are drilled out right here as well. So if you need to, you can move that and sink it down right there instead. And that will give you the ability to reposition this clip pretty much wherever you want. So actually there's 3 holes there and a second hole there. So again, you can reposition this clip to be at whatever depth you need it to be or height you need it to be in order to suit your needs. Perhaps you're taking a tactical class or something. You want that writing a little higher. Or maybe, depending on what you're wearing, you need to bury this a little deeper. You've got the option of doing that. You don't need to switch holsters in order to make that happen. We'll also talk about the depth of those clips. Those go from about 1.5 inches to 1.75 inches is what I understand. The belts I have, it's worked fine on them. I see that is, it catches onto your belt very nicely and retains in place, but then it also opens up easily enough and you can get that off with no problem. And the last thing I want to talk about is the grip clearance on this holster, which is really important for any kind of concealed carry holster that you actually want to be able to draw from and jump straight into the fight with. You've got to be able to get a combat grip on your gun on that first contact with it. Okay, with that grip. You don't want to be drawing that out and then reestablishing your grip because you couldn't get a proper grip on it from the get-go. You need to have that standard fighting grip from the beginning so there's no repositioning as you're drawing it and presenting it. And they provide that with every holster. It's not an extra feature. It's something that they do no matter what. We said before that the price is excellent, like just under $60 for either one of these, and that's terrific. Made in USA, obviously, right here in Utah. And lastly, lifetime warranty on your holster. So whatever you do to it, whatever happens to it, contact them. They'll take care of you. All right, guys, and that is my review of the Stealth Gear USA Revolution holster. Again, it comes in 3 different varieties and lots of different sizes for all different guns right now. And check them out at stealthgearusa.com, I believe is the website. I'll link to it down below. And I'll get you directed straight to these holsters as well because, again, they're fantastic and they are truly impressing me. Again, I'm the Late Boy Scout. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Not quite as good as what you get with the Smith & Wesson. With its spare magazine, it has one additional round in it. It's got that full sort of grip adapter to it, so you really do get a nice palm purchase on there, both from behind and in front.